All right, good morning, everyone. The Zcash Foundation, we are a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to building internet payment and privacy infrastructure for the public good, primarily serving the users of the Zcash protocol and blockchain. So what does that actually mean? Well, it means that we care deeply about privacy and payments online. We started about a year and a half ago as an offshoot of the Zcash Founders Reward, not quite the Zcash company, and I think we're probably the only 501c3 in the US that's been funded by rewards from a blockchain, which is kind of interesting. But we started mainly because we recognized that there was a need to continue the work that was being done on the Zcash company side, but from a nonprofit context. And for us, that means really having an endowment and spending it effectively. For us, that includes spending it on science, on community development, and really about governance as well, which is sort of our three main tiers. So what does that mean for everyone here? Well, we sponsored this conference. We sponsor lots of different conferences and events. And we hope to sponsor more of them in the future. But what does that mean for you in particular? This might be the first job I've ever been in where when I pitch to get people to spend my money rather than trying to get them to give me money, which is an interesting role reversal. But that's really what it means for everyone here. We have a fantastic grant program where we're trying to spend $250,000. And I implore everyone here, not each person. I wish, maybe one day. But we have this pool of $250,000 that we are trying to spend, and I implore all of you, if you have interesting angles on research in privacy and payments, it doesn't have to be related to Zcash. In fact, one of the members of the review committee is part of the Monero Research Lab. So we're deeply committed to the idea that the work that we're doing should benefit not just Zcash, but the broader cryptocurrency community. So if you have any great ideas and any research that you want to further develop, please go to this link right up here. And you don't even have to type the rest of it. There's another link to it within the GitHub repo. It's very easy. And if you have questions about that grant program, I'm obviously here for the rest of the day, but also the chair of the grant program, as I mentioned yesterday, Ron Tromers, is back there and can help as well. So the deadline, I should note, for just submitting an individual proposal for that is May 18th, next Friday. You don't have to have a full proposal written out, just some initial idea of the kind of work that you want to do, and there are further due dates later on. So there's not too much rush, but I really hope many of you consider applying. The next thing I want to talk about is in addition to the work that we're doing to help promote the Zcash protocol on the technical side, we also are working on governance experiments in blockchains in general, which is a very hot topic. And so that means that we're running this experiment to actually try and gauge community sentiment and influence the makeup of our foundation's board. That process is written in more detail in the elections repo. But if anyone has any interest in either suggesting ballot proposals or even nominating themselves to the board, they can do so in that repo. And finally, at least for the last pitching session for getting you guys to spend our money, we have a big conference coming up called ZCon 0, where in a sense it'll be sort of a follow-on to a lot of the great work that's being done here. I know that we're going to have a session about the work that happened here and next steps at ZCon 0. But in addition to that, we're going to be focusing on a lot of the work that's being done in the Zcash protocol for day one. Day two is going to be a focus on privacy in blockchains and in cryptocurrency applications in general. And then day three is going to be a focus on governance, including the results of that election experiment. It's going to be in Montreal from June 26th through June 28th. You have to, right now it's an application process, but I guarantee you, if you put in the why I should attend and say I attended ZKProof, you will be able to attend the conference. So consider doing that if you are interested in coming. It's going to be a great event. In fact, I think many folks at the Zcash company are going to be speaking who are already here that you may have heard from as well. Other than that, I encourage all of you to check out our website and follow us on Twitter. There's a lot of really fantastic work that's being done. To extend and further privacy research, and the Zcash Foundation is really hoping to be a part of that, and I hope that you all will be a part of that with me as well. So thank you.
I actually have a question for you.
Oh, sure.
If I can steal a few more minutes. Do you have any interaction with regulators in the US or anywhere in the world? And specifically, I know people have been finding it hard to exchange cryptocurrencies, especially when they're anonymous.
Yeah. So this one works. Great. So that is a great question. And the truth is, it's really difficult to answer. One, because as a 501c3, it limits the kind of activity that we can do, at least with U.S.-based regulators and lawmakers. So there's some sort of things that we can't actually do that much. That said, we are hoping to ramp up more of the kind of work that we can do in terms of just educating people about the benefits of these sorts of protocols and why privacy technology should be available to a wider spectrum of people. I can say that this is not from my own experience in the foundation, but just from what I know from people that do more active lobbying in this space. The regulatory perspective, from their impression, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, they just got them to understand how Bitcoin works. Starting to get to the point where you can describe how Ethereum, how Monero, how Zcash, how Mimblewimble, I mean, how all of these things work is just a giant leap that's going to take a lot of time, especially for people that just don't have exposure to this technology. Right now, I think their goal is really just getting regulators comfortable with the idea that cryptocurrencies exist, and it's going to be another step to get them to really understand like why this technology is a powerful force for good in the world.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.